All right, on the theory practice continuum, I've identified 9 distinct checkpoints along the way. First, the continuum begins on the theory side, building blocks. The middle point is OPI practice, and I'll talk about this in this video. And the practice side is real life, right? So if you think about theory to practice, the most real life thing is talking to people in person, okay? The next most real life thing is having a video call with someone, and the one before that, texting and sending voice notes in real life. See how that goes? Okay. I guess we're working in reverse order. All right. OPI practice is it's a speaking test where you answer questions. Okay, it stands for oral proficiency interview. That's the military style speaking test. I was a military linguist from 2005 to 2009, and we took OPI practice OPIs every day, and a real OPI at the end. I've taken several since then. So let's start here. OPI is, let's pretend you're learning Spanish. I'm going to ask you questions in Spanish, and you just have to answer them to the best of your ability. All right. You see how that's hard, right? And it's also a different mode than you're often getting in classes. Often, I scored a 9 out of 10 because I knew what verb to put in to fill in the blank. Like, that's the way I'm practicing. OPI, can you answer questions? Now, reverse OPI is you're studying Spanish, you ask me questions, okay? And the idea there is that it's a little easier for you to ask questions than it is answer questions because you get to control the flow, okay? One way or another, those two OPI styles are one way. Now we've got the two-way OPI, which is there's a list of 20 questions between us, and we ask each other those questions, okay? That's halfway between theory and practice. It's not completely random. It's not, guy on the street. It's a controlled way of building the back and forth flow of questions and answers, all right? Somewhere between theory and practice. Continuing to work backward, the theory side of things gets into the idea that grammar is just a system of blocks. Okay, that's how we're solving grammar here. We're not just studying grammar for the sake of it, or like I said earlier, trying to fill in the blank to score, to get the answer right. Okay, grammar is a creative tool, and the concept of building blocks solves all possible grammar questions. Anything you could possibly say, well, how does this work or how does that work? It works via building blocks. There are some videos on this. I'm gonna continue to do more videos on this. This is sort of like a preview of things to come. This is the book. This is the table of contents. Okay. So we've got 3 styles of charts that each flows into the next. In a previous video, I did one just, so I'm not going to go into it fully here. But the idea is that you're mixing and matching building blocks. At the very beginning, you mix and match verb and vocabulary, okay? Then we start mixing and matching statements and questions, and then pretty soon you are like, this is the bridge into OPS. So again, I'm not going to fully go into it. And that's the overview. So basically, to summarize, the whole sequence, the whole trajectory of your, learning a language begins with you being able to mix and match the building blocks of the language in order to begin to ask and answer questions, okay? This is something that can be done on paper. The next thing cannot be done on paper, okay? So that's the big difference. Like, as we move from theory to practice, okay, here we're doing this. Then you start to move into, okay, I'm going to do an OPI now. So I have to sit down, just have to answer questions on the fly, no paper, okay? And then the big difference between OPI practice in real life, other than obvious reasons, it's like paper, no paper, and this is something to be done while standing. I don't know, maybe you can sit too, but the point is like it's no longer study, it's up and about. This is you, this is like you, that guy in surprising the natives by speaking the Mandarin in the market or something like that. All right. Anyway, that's the big picture trajectory. Any questions you have about anything, feel free to let me know. And in terms of the building blocks thing, I'm currently doing a challenge, a 21-day challenge in my school group. And this is free. This is entirely free. There's a link in the description. Every single day for 21 days, I'm going to put out a template, a building block style template, and people are sort of putting their own creative spin on it. So it's actually quite fun, and it is the beginning to successful real life language learning. So thank you for watching, and we will see you when we see you.